Hello there and welcome to this video today, the top 10 most frequently asked questions about Sandals Dunn's River Resort. Hey there, if we haven't met before, my name is Addison. I'm the founder and CEO of Reliant Destinations and mycaribbeanluxury.com. Thank you so much for stopping by this channel, Mr. TraveLux. Here on this channel, we like to make sure that you have all of the insights that you need before headed to that perfect tropical paradise vacation. My team and I at Reliant Destinations, we offer 100% complimentary concierge services, allowing you to take advantage of the best service and of course making sure you have the best value guaranteed each step of the way. You can reach out to my team and I at any time at hello@reliantdestinations.com. Again, that's hello@reliantdestinations.com. We would love to help you any way possible. Before we dive into this video as well, I would like to mention we have a new tool on our website, mycaribbeanluxury.com again. And on that website, it is a special quiz that allows you to answer just a few questions and see which of the properties is best suited for what you're hoping to accomplish in your vacation. Each of the properties is very different, and you'll discover some of that in this video today. But in general, that's a really great tool to help you see which of the Sandals or Beaches resorts best align with your ideal vacation. So make sure to have a peek at that tool. But for now, let's go ahead and dive straight into this video, which is the top 10 most frequently asked questions that we get asked at Reliant Destinations about Sandals Dunn's River. Let's go. Question number 1. So I often get asked, what is your favorite room or suite in this resort? It's a hard question for me because at a resort of this caliber, really all the rooms and suites are quite solid choices, but there are a couple that really stick close to my heart. So I would say the one that is absolutely my favorite is going to be called the 𝗁𝗏𝗄𝗏 Sky Villa. And this is going to be very similar to some of the rondavells we've seen at a few of the Sandals resorts historically. So it's going to have a conical structure to it. But instead of going up to a point as most of the rondavells do, on the top you have a flat roof. And it's actually very sizable. It's enough to host a small party even if you are there with some other couples. And there you will have a bar on the roof, and you'll even have a telescope there so you can look into the stars. And the way that these villas are positioned, you not only have access to a pool that is just for those villas. It's kind of a running fluid pool. You have that at the bottom, but you're also going to have inside of this structure some really top-notch innovations. And so what I say, I like to call it the rondavells on steroids. So they're going to be about twice the size of a lot of the rondavells and have all of the best modern innovation that Sandals has brought to the Sandals family recently. So that definitely is going to be my top favorite at this resort. A close second contender as well will be the 𝗂𝗏 Terrace Sky Pool. So there's two different variants of this 𝗂𝗏 Terrace. So one is a sky pool. So sky pools we see at a few other Sandals resorts right now. So for example, we see sky pools in Sandals Grenada. Those have been very popular. Sandals Royal Barbados, for example. So these are going to be clear glass sky pools at this resort. So what does a sky pool mean? Well, it's going to be a pool elevated in the sky. So essentially, you walk to the end of your bedroom in the suite, you open up floor to ceiling doors, and then there you have magnificent pool just there at the end of your suite, hanging off the side of the building, allowing you to get some great views and of course have that private pool feature. And with the 𝗂𝗏 Terrace, there is also going to be an option on the bottom, which the bottom floor is going to be a little bit different. So the bottom floor is not going to be a sky pool, but it's going to actually be its own little private pool that is right there beachfront. So very cool as well. The exact same identical features of the suite inside. Question number 2. Is there much that's similar from years ago? There is a lot of history with Sandals at this resort. So it is true that this actually used to be a property in the Sandals and Beaches family, and then it was sold off for many years, and then has now came back. But the history goes so much deeper than this as well. This location, the exact beach. This is where it started with the founder of Sandals Beaches Resort, Gordon Butch Stewart. He would do fishing there on that beach, sell the fish to the little hotel there, and that's what began to really stir those early on thoughts in his mind about what could be possible in hospitality. And so after that, he of course was pleased to buy that location years later, and then was able to make that into a Sandals resort. While it did leave the family, when it came back just a few years ago, the transformations were incredible. Honestly, there's little to nothing that is of the original property here, of course, except for a great beach, because all of the best practices, all of the Sandals 2.0 concepts, the most modern innovations, they have all been brought together for the best amenities, the best dining, and the best overall experience here at this property. So there's a lot of memories left on this site. Everything you're going to see, the vast majority of it is brand new. Question number 3, what is the beach like, and is there a pier at this resort? So it is a fairly long beach, and this beach does go from one side of the resort all the way to the other. And it's going to be a mostly private beach. It has security on both ends to it. And at this beach, the sand, honestly, is really great quality. I've not really seen any seagrass on the beach. The few times I've seen it, it's been cleaned off very, very quickly. Overall, the beach is very high quality, of a high caliber there. It's going to be more of a white sand there, and there's also going to be some wave breakers that are out there in the ocean, making sure that the water near the beach is nice and calm, and it's great for swimming and of course for those relaxing water sports like kayaking. And yes, on the far side of the resort there is a pier, and so that pier of course is where you will have the daily snorkel and dive trips and other things like that, motorized sports that will go from that pier. And so yes, there is a very nice pier. It's very long and it's great also for photography. So if you want to get some great shots at the sunset, that's a great place to do that at this resort. The next question is about dining. So are there any signature dining experiences here at Sandals Dunn's River? So the answer to that is yes. So of course you do have some great new dining concepts that had never been seen before at Sandals brought together. For example, we have 𝗏𝗏, which is going to be some amazing Greek food. We have 𝗏𝗏. We also have 𝗏𝗏𝗰𝘂. We have 𝐴 Monde, which is French fine dining, so great. I can go on and on. There's a lot of great restaurants there. And each one of those, the menus are going to look very different than we've seen before. Now, at the newest Sandals resort, which is going to be Sandals St. Vincent and the Grenadines, which is the next resort that was built right after this one, you will see some similar concepts there because some of these best practices were learned from this resort because of the amazing quality and the guest feedback, which was terrific on those. In terms of really unique, there is one thing I like to point out, which is really cool. And I think this is a very unique feature. I'm really happy they've done this. So those of you who know Sandals already, you'll probably be familiar with the Jerk Shack. So the Jerk Shack is featured at just about every Sandals and Beaches property. And the Jerk Shack is going to be that Jamaican jerk. You're gonna have your various meats, you're gonna have the accompaniments that are traditional on the island. And you find this, of course, at the other islands besides Jamaica as well, with Sandals, of course, being a Jamaican brand at its very heart. Now, one of the things that is typical about the Jerk Shack is it's a lunch experience. So it's something you grab and go. You can have a whole festival platter, whatever you want to do, but something most people have that by the beach or have that around the resort. It's a very casual, relaxed thing that always closes in the late afternoon. And of course, everyone goes and heads into dinner. So it's very unique. It's at this moment, it is the only property that has decided to open this Jerk Shack for a dinner experience, allowing for more of a local cuisine feel, to have something that is a little bit more casual and also just as authentic as it gets in the evening. And the menu does change. Now, I won't tell you what that menu is because it does rotate, and that's the great thing, is a lot of Jamaican foods are being tried, and a lot of times it's something where it's done in small plates so you can try a whole bunch of different things. So if you are someone that is either new to Jamaican cuisine, or if you know you love it already, that's a great experience, allowing you to not only have that most authentic moment in your stay, but of course try something that is very different on the culinary scene to the other Sandals and Beaches resorts. Question number 5, is there a Café de Paris here? Or as some people say, Café de Paris. So you see this cafe, this coffee shop, you see this at at almost all of the Sandals and Beaches resorts, but you won't find it here because there is a new innovation that was brought on at Sandals Dunn's River, and this is Bloom Coffee, B-L-U-M. And wow, this coffee is incredible. Now, it is worth mentioning, of course, that Jamaica is home to the famous Blue Mountain coffee, which by some coffee experts would argue is one of the best coffees, if not the best coffee in the world. It's also a very premium coffee to buy it on exports internationally. When you're at any Sandals resort, the coffee by default is Jamaican Blue Mountain coffee. But this is taken to a whole new level at Bloom Coffee. So Bloom Coffee at Sandals Dunn's River, and by the way, this Bloom, we're seeing it at the new properties, and we're going to even see it brought to some of the existing refurbished properties here soon. So this concept is expanding and is very popular. At Bloom, you not only have your traditional coffees, but you also have nitrogen cold brew coffees as well. So a whole unique experience there. There at this place, you also have a chocolate experience, and you have a selection of pastries, a much more authentic and broader selection of pastries than we have seen historically at 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. So if you are a coffee or pastry lover, or both, make sure to head to Bloom when you're at Sandals Dunn's River. Question number 6. How close is the Dunn's River Falls excursion experience from this resort? Very close, like 5 or 6 minutes drive, very close. So if you aren't familiar with this, you definitely want to become familiar. It is perhaps the #1 excursion in this part of Jamaica to take if you're staying at any of the Sandals or Beaches resorts on that part of the island. Dunn's River is a really cool river, and there's so many things you can do there, from a swimming experience, rafting experience, the list goes on. So for all of our clients, we provide a special link that shows you all of the available excursions, the days, the times, and you can pre-book that and make sure you lock it in before you go. And of course, we can answer any questions and guide you on that process. But that's something where if you are staying in that part of Jamaica and you haven't seen that before, it's definitely worth seeing, and it's a really great experience. But to answer that question, as we said, yes, just 5 or 6 minutes, very close. Question number 7. Someone said there was a rum club. Is that true? Yes, absolutely it is. There is Dunn's Rum Club here at Sandals Dunn's River Resort, and the Rum Club is a great evening entertainment space. Also, though it's not technically open in the earlier parts of the day, there is a game room attached to it. The game room's open, so if you're someone that likes to play billiards, for example, you'll find those there. But in the evening, this comes to life, and there are a huge variety of included rums that you can try from. And then also, of course, there are some premium ones that you can purchase if you wish there. But all in all, this is not only a normal bar that serves a lot of traditional things, but has such an expanded selection of rum. And most of the rum there is going to be complimentary, and there's a lot of high-end rums that are served there. So that's something where if you are someone that loves to try various rums, go in there, have a sample, but most importantly, enjoy the atmosphere. There are comfortable sofas there, a lot of relaxation areas, and in the late evening, it comes to life. There's an unofficial rule there that is basically until the last glass is put down, it keeps rolling. So when you ask when the close time is, maybe around 2 a.m., but I've seen it rocking at 4:30 a.m. before when people want to keep going. So the heart of the nightlife, it definitely is there in terms of the bar scenes. There are plenty of other evening bars in the resort which are also open at that time, but this one has a special vibe to it. So if you do like more of an upbeat vibe, and if you like rum, well, that's where you want to spend at least one of the nights of your stay. Question number 8. Which of the rooms or suites are closest to the pools? Okay, this is a great question. The way that this resort is laid out, the answer is pretty much all of them with a little bit of an exception. So first of all, if we're talking about the absolute main pool, the heart of the resort, the infinity pool that has the gorgeous glass on it along the beach. So most rooms are close to that pool. You do have to keep in mind that the villas I mentioned earlier, those are going to be positioned on a different side of the resort, but those have their own private pool. They have also their own shared semi-private lagoon pool as well. So there's immediate access to pools. If you are staying in one of those, it just won't be the main central pool there. But in terms of most of the lower level rooms and suites in particular, all of those are going to be just seconds away from this because of the way that the buildings are positioned around the heart of the resort there. And so you don't have to worry about being very far from the pool, no matter where you stay at this property. Question number 9, do you get access to any other Sandals or Beaches resorts when staying here? And the answer is yes, you do. So there is the ability to go and visit technically any of the Sandals resorts on the island. The exception for that is going to be Sandals Royal Plantation, because Sandals Royal Plantation is just too small to host guests from other Sandals resorts. Very small, intimate resort. But besides that property, if you're staying at Sandals Dunn's River, you can go and see any other ones you want. But the caveat there is you would be responsible for providing your own transportation, and Jamaica is a larger island than a lot of people think. So to get all the way across the island to visit one of those resorts may not be the best use of your day. But if that's what you want to do, you can do it. In terms of the other resorts in 𝘬𝐻𝑖 Rios, so particularly Sandals 𝘬𝐻𝑖, that is typically where people would go visit if they want to visit. So that's very close there, and the resort, of course, can help with that transportation down to that resort. So Sandals 𝘬𝐻𝑖, it is the largest of the Sandals resorts. It's not going to be as modern, as fancy as Sandals Dunn's River. It's a lower end price point resort in 𝘬𝐻𝑖 Rios, but in terms of inclusions, it's a huge property with tons of dining, tons of amenities, lots and lots of pools and things like that. So a lot of people like to go and just check it out. And so that's something which you are welcome to do if you're staying at Sandals Dunn's River. Question number 10. Okay, so question number 10 is usually a question that comes to me directly, and is, what is your favorite thing to eat? Your favorite dish at this resort, at Sandals Dunn's River? It's a hard one because there's so much good food. So it's going to be a tie for me. So the tie is going to be amongst two different things. So first, it is going to be inside of banyu, and it is going to be soft shell crab, and that's going to be in a steamed Asian bun. It is delicious. If you haven't had something like that before, it's a great way to try it. And of course, because it's included, it's a low risk thing to try. So I heavily recommend that. And the next is Le Monde. So this is a fine dining French restaurant. Amazing food. So my favorite dish there is going to be the chicken cordon bleu. Chicken cordon bleu. So this is going to be, if you aren't familiar with this dish, it is going to be a large chicken breast that is stuffed with various cheeses and also even some other meats in this dish. It comes with some remarkable sides and also a lingonberry sauce to dip in. And honestly, I could eat that every night of the week staying at Sandals. Absolutely love it. So yes, that is the tie for me of my favorite two dishes for Sandals Dunn's River. And there we have it. This is the conclusion of the top 10 most frequently asked questions we get at Reliant Destinations about Sandals Dunn's River. I hope you enjoyed this video. Do make sure to like and subscribe. And if we can help you at any time with your journey towards a Sandals or Beaches resort, please don't hesitate to reach out. We always say if you aren't reaching out, you might be missing out. And I think that's very true. So that's hello@reliantdestinations.com for the easiest way to get in touch. Again, hello@reliantdestinations.com. Thanks again for stopping by this video. I can't wait to see you back here on the channel, and perhaps sometime we will even cross paths in one of these amazing, glorious resorts. Take care.